Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and the gates are now open into the world of the wild, the strange, the unknown, the uncertain, I guess. Welcome to the show, though. It's Friday night. Y'all made it. It's the weekend time, and as you are well know by now, Friday nights are 2 full hours. There will be commercial breaks because we're connected to the network, just so you know. But we got a whole host of fun things on deck for you, and hopefully you'll be wildly entertained as you traverse through the depths of the Paranormal Portal. I'm not alone here. All the voices in my head kind of pulled through there, but I have joined, of course, by my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, the camera looks good too. Hey.
Yeah.
Sorry I wasn't here the other day.
No, it's okay. You sound a lot better, though.
Yeah,
That's good.
I feel a lot better. I'm not as tired. Oh, my goodness. Did Wes redo the lower thirds?
He did.
Because that flag was huge.
It was big.
Nice.
You're a pirate in his eyes.
Here, that's what I'm missing. There we go. All right. I was wondering why my head doesn't look...
Why can't I hear anything?
Yeah, that and my head looks narrow. There we go.
Yeah, it's much more bulbous now.
Yeah, well, thanks. That's what she said.
But yeah, I'm glad you're feeling better and glad you can make it tonight.
Yep, I'm here.
We're back in the saddle, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a whole host of fun things to go through. And I hope you guys are ready because, this is what it's going to go. I'm not actually wearing a hat tonight, probably for the first time in nearly a year.
Wow.
I've been wearing my hats all the time.
Brent's topless tonight.
Just wanted to show you guys my flowing locks. I do have hair, as it turns out.
Well, you know what I found out this weekend?
Huh?
I'm losing my hair because I have a sunburn on the top of my head.
Oh, you got the solar panel.
Oh, I do, and it hurts.
Yeah, time to add a little sunblock to the top of the head.
Yeah, the problem though is there's still enough hair in there that it just
goos it up.
It'd be like what was it when Harry met Sally? With the Cameron Diaz.
Yeah, that wasn't that was something about Mary or something.
Oh, something about Mary. That's right. Yeah, that's the one.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't want to be Mary in that situation. No, I want to be Mary Merry.
Oh, Moose. Yeah. But anyway, we've got a whole lot of things to get through, and hopefully we'll get through them. But first of all, I just want to say thank you to the sponsor of the Paranormal Portal, and that is, of course, Cryptid Coin.
Cryptid Coin.
If you're looking for a cryptocurrency investment, look no further, ladies and gentlemen, because this is one that is aiming right to the heart of cryptid research and investigation. So if you're looking for something interesting and right up our alley, that's what I love about it. It's Cryptid Coin. I mean, it's just a perfect fit. And special thanks to Cryptid Coin for sponsoring the Paranormal Portal. We are absolutely thrilled. And if you want to learn more about Cryptid Coin and how to get invested, you can head over to cryptidcoin.io. Again, cryptidcoin.io and learn more. But I think it's cool. And there's so much more going on, Don.
There is.
Yep.
There is.
Something more is the news.
Wonder Woman, real quick. Wonder Woman says caps cause baldness. The irony is caps prevent burn on your scalp, love. It's irony.
Yeah, it's funny. I still got all my hair as far as I can tell. I mean, it is thinning as I get older, but
well, you're lucky.
Well, I don't know. So, if it's a hair contest, then yeah, but in other ways, I just break it even, I think.
There you go.
Anyway, to the news, ladies and gentlemen. Let's roll the news. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paranormal Portal News Desk. As we will go through a series of articles that I've curated for your listening and viewing pleasure. And hopefully you guys leave here knowing something you didn't know when you came in the door. And one of which is that I have hair. The other is some news articles. So let's go to the first one that I've curated on your behalf and see what kind of fun I've chummed the waters for.
Chummed the waters for.
Yeah, here it is, the first one tonight. I don't even know. I think this is a kind of bird, but
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
As long as there's not a T at the end.
Oh. That's just
I'm going
so
to hell.
disturbing.
I'm so
You are
going
so
to
going to hell, Don. And what Don's referring to, of course, is the first article up on deck tonight from unexplained-mysteries.com. Tornado of midges, not midgets, appears near Scottish Loch. And that does look pretty bizarre, doesn't it? Just apparently a bunch of birds were just doing a tornado formation. A veritable maelstrom of the infamous Scottish pests was recently captured on camera in Kinross. While Scotland is renowned for its historic landscapes and natural beauty, one thing that most visitors don't appreciate about hiking in the Scottish countryside is the midges. There's insects. Biting insects which can appear in large numbers, particularly during the summer months. Imagine then ending up in the middle of a tornado of the creatures, one such as that was filmed recently by Ross Cunningham, who had been walking near Loch Leven in Kinross on Wednesday evening. The footage he captured shows a swirling maelstrom of millions of midges, though thankfully this particular type are not prone to biting. According to wildlife experts, the phenomenon is known as, what is that, lecking? Okay. These are non-biting midges, with the name that I'm never going to pronounce, that hatch at the same time, producing millions of flies, says a spokesperson for Nature Scott. Lecking is a moving gathering of males to attract females from the surrounding area, and this is not a rare event, but only happens at short periods when the temperature is right for them. So I mean, we can just look at it. For those of you listening without the video, it's just basically looks like a tornado of bugs. If it loads ever, as we wait for my internet connection.
I thought you had fiber.
I do. That's the scary part.
I'm not jealous anymore.
Wow, I've also got the tab farm though. There they are. True. Look at that. That is a lot of bugs though. That is really.
You got to move it up a little bit because the lower third's in the way.
Oh, is it? Okay. Yeah. I'm trying. I guess I could do this and just make it all big.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, let's do that. So there's the midges. Wow. It's just a big towering column of bugs, I guess.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
There you go, folks.
It's a lot better than if it was with a T.
Yeah, well, that would be that might be more paranormal though if you had a tornado of midgets. But
hey, by the way,
what happened?
Faye KO now has the clap.
Who?
Faye KO. She made a donation.
Oh, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank you so much for giving us a donation. That always helps. Of course, it's not expected, but it sure is appreciated.
Yep. It puts half a gallon of gas in my tank. But every penny is appreciated. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
Oh, my
Especially in today's economy.
Oh, gosh, yes.
So, all right, we got more articles up for bat here for you tonight. And the next one up is also from unexplained-mysteries.com. Now that you've seen a tornado of midges, what can we do to top that? Well, this one's in the UFO vein. Unexplained-mysteries.com reports pilots and troops saw 11,500 mile per hour craft over Brazil.
Wow.
11,500 miles.
Wow.
That's a moving piece of equipment there.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm imagining it's not ours, or anybody's that normally lives here. A UFO incident that occurred over Brazil in 1986 is set to be presented at a UFO hearing in the Brazilian Senate. A spate of UFO sightings dubbed Night of the UFOs has been outlined this week ahead of the Brazilian Senate hearing into the UFO phenomena. Things kicked off in the evening of May 19th, 1986, when Brazilian Air Force Air Traffic Controller Sergeant Sergio Mota da Silva witnessed a light in the sky from the control tower of an airport near São Paulo. It doesn't go up or down. It doesn't go left or right. It's just standing there. He explained that it was not a plane, yet seemed to behave as an intelligent manner. Then at around 8 p.m. on the same night, some 2,000 cadets and officers at an Air Force training school witnessed mysterious lights in the sky in the same general area. An hour later, an aircraft pilot reported multiple lights when landing at the same airport. Two passenger planes in the area also reported witnessing the same phenomena. These potential incursions into Brazilian airspace were taken seriously enough for jets to be scrambled to intercept the objects. However, the pilots had trouble locking onto them. Sometimes the pilots had visual contact with the targets, but the radars did not register anything,
Wow.
said Moda. At other times, the radars even picked up the presence of the objects, but the pilots couldn't see them.
Wow.
That when one of the jet's pilots attempted to close in on the target, the object suddenly accelerated away at a speed estimated to be around 15 times the speed of sound. The pilot eventually lost contact with the object at around 30,000 feet. If there's a plane that can develop that speed, I don't know of it, he said. To this day, no explanation for the objects witnessed that night has ever been found.
Wow.
That's a moving object, and there seems to be, again, it could just be a symptomatic of people feeling that it's okay to discuss more than ever, but there seem to be more of these sightings, and there's certainly more footage coming in all the time from people that are witnessing strange lights in the sky. Our own Taco sent one in, but I didn't show it on last Wednesday's show, but I'll show it on this coming Wednesday.
There you go.
And, you know, I mean, it's hard to know what they are. There's no aviation lights on these things. They are just these lights in the sky.
You know, it's amazing, though. You know, you talk about 11,500 miles per hour.
Yeah.
You know, I believe the speed of sound is around 720 at sea level.
Okay.
And plus, when you think of the aircraft that we have, that we know of, they move, Jesus, they're like 1,500 miles an hour.
Oh, like the Concorde, you mean, or something?
Well, you know, I'm not exactly sure how fast that one goes. Do they even fly that thing anymore?
No, they retired them.
I
now.
didn't think so
Yeah.
either. But let me look real quick. Concorde.
Yeah, I know those things move, but
Yeah.
that's like 30 times the speed of
Yeah,
sound.
exactly. So,
Imagine how quick your commute across the country would be then.
oh my goodness, yes. Mach 2.4 is a super cruise. They can maintain a super cruise up to 2.4 Mach. That's 2,167 kilometers an hour. That's the Concorde.
Okay.
That is the fastest that we know of.
Well, the Blackbird, of course,
Well,
was much faster. But
Yeah, but they're also operating in thinner air too.
Yeah.
Because they
Way up
were
there.
almost suborbital to begin with.
Yeah,
They were
yep.
like 50,000 feet.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what we know of. But
But think about that. I mean, we're still talking 10 times faster than those.
oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, that's no joke.
So yeah.
That's pretty incredible stuff, folks. But apparently this is an old report, but it sounds like they're having some kind of disclosure hearings in Brazil, is what that sounds like.
Today's the 24th.
That's true. Well, that's when this article
Oh, that's
was.
when the article
yeah.
came out. Yeah, true.
Yeah. So,
But
yeah, I
there
don't know.
you go. Crazy.
It is crazy, wild stuff. But,
Aggravated Progressive says I was a Blackbird mechanic. That's friggin' awesome.
wow.
That's all I wanted to do when I was a kid. Well, no,
Yeah.
that's not true. I wanted to play baseball and fly a Blackbird, but
Why?
I realized I'm not tall enough.
What I understand of the Blackbird, and I might be wrong, but I understand. What I had heard is that it moved so fast that the thing was actually hot to the touch, like really, really hot to the
Yeah,
touch when it landed.
I've heard that, yeah.
And that they had to sit like on the tarmac for like an hour for it to cool down enough to get out. But that the actual, the and you can correct me if this is wrong, Aggravated, but that the metal plates were actually fitting better over time just because of the expansion and motion of the heat on the plane's exterior. I don't know
yeah.
if that's true. Maybe it's been tempered over and over and over, but
Right.
that's pretty crazy stuff. Yeah, that's wild. And I'm sure the Blackbird is what, from the 80s?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So-
yeah. Oh, easy. Actually, my uncle
70s, yeah.
My uncle, he was in the Air Force in the 70s, and he knows of them. They used to overseas. They used to take off and go straight up.
Oh, wow.
That's how people really didn't know about them because they would go up so fast.
Sure, they just
To that 30,000 foot that you can't really tell what they are anymore.
or even higher. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
Yeah, that is crazy stuff. But yeah, that's UFOs are still quicker.
In the air, they grow by 2 feet. He says.
Oh wow.
Because they just stretch. They're going so fast. They're
Right.
stretching out.
Oof.
They're approaching naked singularity. I love that term.
It sounds really impressive. I'm not sure what it means, but it sounds really awesome.
That's what happens when you fall into a black hole. You're torn apart by naked singularity.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I've never done that, so.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't think it's really something you want to attempt.
No, that's what I understood.
However, Neil deGrasse Tyson said that's how he wants to die.
Really? He wants to go into a black hole?
Yeah, he wants to be torn apart by naked singularity. What's wrong with the frame on my frame? Let's cut that.
Oh, it does. How come? I thought I shut that off.
I don't know.
That was from when Sheldon was on In Your Stead.
Oh, on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad he was able to
Yep.
pop in. That's awesome.
Yeah, he was. He was able to
Excellent.
fill your shoes for the night. But
No, they stink. Don't do it. Okay.
all right, let's go to the next article here on the newscast, and this is also from unexplained-mysteries.com, and this is strange shadowy creature was filmed hiding behind a tree.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you, and there's some screen grabs of it. I'm going to put a copy of the URL in TFR so that Bam can have a look at this, as can Renee. There we go. All right, there's the link for you guys.
Taco is complimenting your hair tonight.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I just threw it together.
Yeah.
I really did. I just gelled it, and that was it. Okay, so this creature's from hiding behind a tree. Let's have a look at this, and we'll probably look at the video, too. It says, a recently published viral video shows what appears to be a creature peering out from behind a tree at night. The clip, which was reportedly filmed by Carol Alfert in the night of November 21st, 2021, shows some woodland at the side of the road illuminated by headlamps of a nearby car. Headlamps. According to the accompanying story, the conversation between Alfert and her granddaughter in the video, they'd spotted some sort of creature that was hiding behind one of the trees.
Huh.
My granddaughter, Cameron, I guess, and I were coming off the hill, and I was about to lock our gate, she said. She started freaking out that she could see something behind the tree, where my lights were shining from my car across the road. Alfert was quoted as saying... Sorry, I read that terribly. Sorry, I'm froggy.
Well, frankly,
Ribbit.
Froggy.
Initially believing it to be a bear, she later changed her mind after reviewing the footage. I realized that it wasn't a bear and have since been told that it was like a skinwalker or a hide behind, among other things. Hide behind. That's a new name. I've not heard that.
Up.
She said, in the last 40 years, I've never seen anyone hitchhiking, let alone walking on that road, especially at night. So let's take a look at this and see what it looks like. I don't want any noise, so I'm going to turn off the sound and we'll just look, see what we can see here as soon as my pewter catches up with my activity. And we're off. There we go. Let me make it bigger. Okay, so they're kind of zooming in across to the trees, across the road where the headlights are shining. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's not what you like to see.
Yeah, that's definitely a shadow.
Yeah, it is.
And it was on both sides, actually. It was like it has a hand on one side as it's leaning out.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Oh,
yeah.
maybe it's the other shoulder.
Oh, or an elbow or something. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Crazy.
That's a pretty wild capture, folks.
It is a good one.
That's a really, really pretty impressive one. Did you do that?
I did.
Oh.
Because there's so much light in here, we might as well turn the fan up.
Oh, well, I got the fan out there blowing in here.
Oh, well, okay.
So just make yourself at home.
I'm trying.
Apparently. So there's the video, folks. You be the judge. I think it's, very possible. That does look very paranormal to me. I don't see a source.
Hide behind cryptid.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. A hide behind is a mysterious nocturnal creature from American folklore, considered to be a fearsome critter.
Oh.
It's said to prey upon humans that wander in the woods at night, and was credited for the disappearance of early colonial loggers when they failed to return to camp.
Bigfoot.
Early accounts describe hide behinds as large, powerful animals, despite the fact that no one was able to see them.
Wow.
As its name suggests, the hide behind is noted for its ability to conceal itself. When an observer attempts to look directly at it, the creature hides again behind an object or the observer, and therefore cannot be seen directly.
Huh. Yep. It's tree peeking.
It uses the ability to stalk humans without being observed.
Bigfoot.
Once the person is killed, the hide behind drags the person to its lair to be consumed.
Wonder how they came up with that. Did somebody?
I don't know.
Somebody reporting on this?
Yeah.
Play-by-play. Got John Madden and the marker. Yep, you got him. He's dragging him over to that lair.
Yep, there it
looks
is.
like he is lunch, folks.
And as amazingly, I am not. Yeah, I've always wondered how that works.
Yeah, I don't know either, but that's drawing some pretty specific conclusions. I don't know. Maybe they found people's bones in caves or something, but
Fair.
who could be? I don't know. It's possible. Let's get to the next one here, and this is also from unexplained-mysteries.com. This is I think this is disturbing. But you be the judge.
Well, I will.
So, unexplained-mysteries.com is reporting Amazon Alexa will be able to mimic the voice of a dead relative.
That's disturbing. You're right. Why the heck would do that?
What the hell are people thinking? I love it when my dead grandma calls to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what it says. An upcoming feature to the Amazon's popular voice assistant is straight out of the episode of The Black Mirror. During Amazon's Mars conference recently, the online shopping giant announced that it was developing a feature that would enable its Alexa smart home assistant to speak using the voice of someone who has died.
Oh, jeez.
Where are they going to get that sample? You got to give them a voice sample, probably, I
Yeah,
guess.
probably.
Senior Vice President Rohit Prasad provided a demonstration of this technology by having Alexa read a bedtime story in the voice of his deceased grandmother.
Oh, that's no good.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's a little creepy.
No.
Now, if this all sounds a bit unsettling, that's because it is. In fact, a similar idea was used in the pilot of an episode in Black Mirror, which should tell you just how weird this actually is.
Yeah, that show's kind of weird.
According to Prasad, Alexa will be capable of learning to speak in someone's voice after listening to just 1 minute of recorded speech from that person.
Wow.
This also suggests that the device could listen to someone's conversation and then learn how to mimic their voice, no doubt adding to the concerns many people have about having devices like this in their home. Whether this particular feature will make it to the actual product, however, remains to be seen.
You know what would suck is if the AI started using your voice and ordering pizza in your name.
Yeah.
That would suck.
That would suck.
And then having it delivered somewhere else. So you're paying the bill.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like your voice.
Right.
Doggone it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that whole thing. I think there's it's neat to have recordings of people that you have passed. And
Right.
It's neat to hear their voice. I've got voicemails from my dad still on my phone that are kind of cool to listen to. But at the same point, I think there's a margin of that just becomes weird. If you've got your device using a dead relative's voice.
Yeah.
Now, on the same token, it could be a living relative. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, but
Maybe if you want your mom talking to you,
but it never goes away. So 2 years after that person passes, and you're just wake up, honey. What?
It's not school. I'm late.
Mom, what?
I'm not feeling good, Mom.
A lot of people said that they would be sad. They would not. They
Yeah.
would not be.
It is sad too,
It would
I
be
guess.
sad for them.
That's a good point. It's I guess we all long for that connection that we once had, but
Right.
I don't know that having a piece of technology mimic it is the right
No,
thing.
there's enough of that.
So, anyway, interesting thought, and I don't know. You be the judge. I won't be upgrading mine personally for that feature. Nope. Hold on, I got a cough. There we go. All right, so I think this is probably a good place to wrap up the news. What do you think?
The news, sure.
All right, so we're going to be done with the news, folks. Back to the scheduled program. Oops, wrong button. There you go, folks. That was the presentation of the Paranormal Portal News. Hope you enjoyed that. And just as a note, because we got a couple minutes before the break, I just wanted to let everybody know where Donner and I are going to be. Donner.
Party of 8?
And
Donner, Party of 8?
7? 6? We're going to be at Phenomicon, ladies and gentlemen. And this is a conference going to be happening in Vernal, Utah. And it looks like it's going to be an incredible event. There's going to be a lot of incredible speakers there. And let me put it up on screen. So it's happening September 8th through the 11th of this year in Vernal, Utah. And if you look at this laundry list of speakers, there's so many. Dr. Jeff Meldrum, Greg Lawson, James Keenan. I know that this guy, Dr. Travis Taylor, is from the Mysteries of Skinwalker Ranch, as are a few of these other ones. And Russ Accord is there along with Bryce. Bryce is going to be there from Expedition Bigfoot, and Ronnie LeBlanc and Dr. Maria Mayer. Adam Davis is going to be there. Just a whole incredible laundry list of fascinating and really cool speakers. So if you're not busy, you can check it out. You can go to phenomicon.net for more information. And it also includes a schedule of events that are going to be happening through the days. It's a full boat of things going on. So check it out, folks. Go to phenomicon.net for more information. So
I know who Dio is. Hi, Dio. We talked earlier today, didn't we? Yeah, that right there. Yeah, what? No David Wilcock? Yeah, I know that's you. Yeah, that I cleared
bluebirds?
that one
No
real quick.
bluebirds? All right, folks. So we're going to go to our first break. So
These blue avians.
buckle up, enjoy the next couple minutes, get a beverage, and we'll meet you right back here for the next half-hour segments. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. This is the second half hour of the show tonight. We've just been cruising right through it. Oh, there's Wes right there. Special thanks again to Wes Germer for making these lower thirds on mine and Don's screens. And he even whipped out one up for Sheldon, so that's really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to see that.
Well, he's not here, so.
Well, okay, so I need to look on Wednesdays and see the one he whipped up for one.
Yeah. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a bunch of paranormal to get to. I hope you're in the mood. You got a hankering for some paranormal, Don?
Yes.
A hankering. Who the hell ever came up with that phrase? That's the funniest damn thing. A hankering. Isn't that, I mean, is it just me or is that one of those, I don't know. It's probably just me.
It's mostly just you.
Mostly just me. Never mind, folks. But I think a hankering is just about the funniest damn thing I've heard of. Who has hankerings? Oh, I remember I was going to do that, but we're not going to do that now. I got to comb through my stuff here. No, not this one. No, not this one. Doggone it. I have so many tabs. I'm trying to figure out which one has what I'm looking for here. Oh, yeah. That's kind of interesting. So I found this article a while back, and I was like, well, this is kind of odd, but it's one of those things that, I believe everybody has a guardian angel. Do you, Don?
I certainly hope I do, but I know my guardian angel is probably dying of heart attacks every 10 seconds. So
sure,
I don't know.
But I mean, the belief, if not the term angel, then that there's some benevolent energy or force or spirit that looks over people, individual people. Like maybe everybody has one or two, or like in your case, 5. But you know what I mean? Like there's a benevolent force that watches over us. A lot of people call them angels. I think that could very well be true. And I think it's a beautiful thought anyway. But I found this article and I was like, But I thought tonight we would go through it because it's kind of different. It's really interesting. And I don't know what to make of it, but you guys can be the judge. And it sounds like at least some kind of interesting spiritual advice. I'll just leave it there. But this is coming from ranker.com. And it's from the Graveyard Shift. And it says, you can contact your guardian angel with this ancient ritual. Now, really? So long as you bind the Dukes of Hell. So that can't be easy. And I'm not recommending anybody embark on rituals, but or trying to bind the Dukes of Hell, as it were. I think that they're probably better left alone. But I just thought, well, this is really interesting and weird. So I thought we'd read it. It says, if you knew how to summon this is by Laura Allen, by the way, and this is from June 14th of 2019. Now, I don't know who Laura Allen is, but she's some kind of writer for Ranker, so let's see what she says. If you knew how to summon your guardian angel, that would be pretty cool, right? Now, I think everybody can that's kind of what prayer is, right? I mean, in a sense, you can certainly pray to and make prayers to the angels, sure, as it were. And I don't mean prayer to mean any one kind of religious belief or observation, but just the idea of communing with the higher power. So this is an interesting take, but it says, that would be pretty cool, right? What would you give for that ability? According to the rituals from the Book of Abramelin. Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. This summoning is possible, but it comes at a great cost.
I bet.
For one thing, you have to live a pure life, which oftentimes means pushing yourself to the brink of insanity for months on end. For another, you actually have to summon,
well, how does that work?
The Dark One himself, as well as the Dukes of Hell, and bind them to your will. I wonder if this is the Abramelin. The Abramelin is the ritual, which apparently takes 6 months to cast, and it's what Crowley was attempting to do when he lived on the shores of Loch Ness.
There was a movie.
Okay.
This gal was trying to bring back her dead child or something, and she went to Scotland, I think.
Okay.
And she met this guy who went through this. They went through this 6-month ritual, to call. Yeah, that's crazy. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, but it's known as the Abramelin. But apparently Crowley was unsuccessful in his attempt. I don't know where he failed, or maybe it was for the whole living a pure life.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that might have been where he fell short. But it says, but if you are unable to do this, you'll find the dangers of angel summoning can quickly turn deadly. This is not all from some New Age magic craze either. This comes from an ancient text dating back hundreds of years to ancient Egyptian rituals. All here it says, Aleister Crowley himself thought the ritual was of great importance. So why isn't everyone summoning their guardian angel then? Well, apparently it's very easy to get the ritual wrong, and the consequences can be horrifying. These holy guardian angel summoning ritual facts are astounding, whether or not you believe in magic. The mystery of this text's origins and how it survived this long is an enigma in and of itself. It was created by an ancient Egyptian mage. This is hardly a New Age ritual. Well, I would hear. Let me just say this: a lot of New Age rituals are really just repurposed old rituals, and so a lot of the whole New Age thing is just a revisiting of very ancient ideals.
Yes.
So that's a little bit misleading in and of itself. But anyway, this is hardly a New Age ritual. Dreamed up in the teens, experimenting with the dark arts. The description of this ritual dates back to antiquity. According to the manuscript, the whole thing is a tale told by a man known as Abramelin of Worms.
No, Abraham of Worms.
Oh, Abraham of Worms. I'm sorry. Abraham of Worms. He traveled from Germany to Egypt back in the 1400s and met Abramelin, an Egyptian mage, with a wealth of magical knowledge. The mage offered to teach Abramelin all of his ancient secrets as long as he would give up all other false dogmas and lead a pure life. Once Abraham made his promise, Abramelin gave him the ancient manuscript books to copy for himself. After the copying, Abramelin also requested Abraham give away some of his money to the poor, and upon completion of the second step, Abramelin taught him the magic and science involved in the documents he copied. There's a lot of prep work before you can perform the ritual. The Book of Abramelin is both dense and esoteric, but the most famous ritual supposedly allows one to summon a guardian angel. In order to do this, you have to give up or change some fundamental parts of your life. First, you have to devote yourself to prayer and meditation every day. You must give up many other magic, religion, or moral practices except for those in line with the Abramelin operation. You are even advised to never record or acknowledge the month, day, or hour. On top of all this, you have to cleanse and purify yourself in other ways. You must be moderate in your eating life and life practices. You must be fair and decent person no matter what. You should only bathe once a week on Sabbath, Eve, and perfume your bed sheets. You must retreat from society, and eventually you will have to fast every Sabbath, and only then will you live a pure life and have a chance of being good enough for the summoning. That sounds like a lot of work, Don.
And that's exactly what Wes just said. He
Did
says, I struggle getting from point A to point B on Amazon Prime. Summoning a guardian angel sounds like a lot of work.
It does.
Leave it to Wes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, great minds, right?
Well, at least he has Prime. He can figure that one out.
Yeah, the ritual can take well over a year. Okay. When you imagine a magic ritual, you may think of something you can do in an afternoon, or perhaps something that takes a few days. This summoning ritual isn't for rookies, though. In an early translation by S.L. Mathers, the ritual is said to take 6 months and happen in 3 phases. The first phase involves changing your life habits and praying. The second is fasting and seclusion from society. The third is devoting your entire mind to the texts and rituals, forsaking all other aspects of your life, and only then can you call upon your guardian angel to come to you. Wow. However, later translations disputed this notion the ritual takes 6 months. Instead, they asserted the whole ordeal takes at least 18 months. If you mess up during this time, say, take a shower on a Wednesday, you have to start the ritual over from square one. Yikes. Ugh. If you do everything right, you can summon a guardian angel. Can you shut that door, please?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. If you complete your 18 months of probation and prove you are pure and committed to Abramellin's teachings, the payoff is potentially wondrous. In the final days of the ritual, you spend 3 days worshiping God and the guardian angels with every ounce of strength you have. And if you are found to be devoted and pure, your guardian angel will at last appear before you. If your guardian angel arrives, he will be kindly and sweet towards you. He will answer any questions you may have. Sorry. And your guardian angel will also give you tips on how to better pray and worship God. And he will even make you feel good about your life. He'll promise to stay with you always, protect you, and make sure the life you live is a good one, as long as you continue to praise and worship. But last but not least, he will teach you an ancient secret, holy magic only angels know, and you will gain power beyond what any mortal can imagine.
Oh, boy.
Most importantly, he will teach you how to defeat evil, an area that is about to become very, very important to you.
Yeah.
You need to summon the devil to continue the ritual. Aye. Even though you summoned your guardian angel, the most difficult part of the ritual has yet to come. In order to gain control over your own negative impulses and familiars, your demons, you have to summon the original sources of those demons, and they are called the Dukes of Hell. And there are 12 of them. The lesser of these dukes are 8 demons. I'm not going to name those because that's always a bad idea. It's believed if you speak the name of a demon, you're summoning it. So there are also 4 prince demons, and they have very familiar names. That's right. For this ritual, you will be summoning Satan himself. If you've listened well to your angel, you know what you need to do in order to bind them. And you absolutely must bind them. It will take 3 days, assuming you are still pure enough, and ends with you binding the 4 big bads to your will. You will force all 12 to pledge oaths of allegiance to you, and then you will have full control over your demons, your own demons. Wow. If you can't bind the 12 demons, you can become possessed or die.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the difference between being possessed and dying? You might as well just die.
Yeah, I think with possession, though, you may be kind of aware of what's going on, but you got to watch it all happen.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
That
being
would suck.
locked in your psyche, but not being able to control anything.
Yeah, exactly. So
That would suck.
now, as you might expect, when it comes to summoning and dealing with God and demons, things can go wrong.
You think?
And when they do go wrong, it's catastrophic.
No kidding.
If you slip up during your probation period of cleansing, it's not so much of a problem. You just have to start over, which might be a pain, but doesn't really harm you otherwise. If you slip up during the ritual with the demons, however, they won't hesitate to devastate you. The sight of them alone has been known to drive weaker people mad. They will try to trick you and tell you that your faith and worship are useless and false, and may name every sin you have ever committed try to break you. They may also try to bargain with you and to get you to come over to their terms.
We have cookies.
Rather than bending you to your will, they may demand a sacrifice or promise in return that they may even physically attack you. If you do not follow your angel's instructions, they will then have power over you. They can possess or even kill you if they so choose. This sounds horrible. One of the most popular translations is dangerously inaccurate.
Well, that's so if it's accurate, it's dangerous. If it's inaccurate, it's dangerous.
It's dangerously inaccurate.
Oh, dangerously inaccurate. Gotcha.
Unfortunately, it's very easy to get this ritual wrong, and that might seem surprising considering that it's all written down, but there's a major problem with what people are reading. The issue is that one of the most well-known and popular translations is done by Samuel Liddell McGregor Mathers, and he got a lot of stuff wrong. Ooh, that's bad. His translation was done from an unreliable copy of the manuscript, and some believe it is incomplete. It leaves things out, contains errors. I think that was the devil did that, right?
You think?
Yeah, I'm just going to have him not write this part. It contains errors and miscalculations, and some think even the allotted time he gives for the ritual is incorrect. Due to this, following his translation makes it very easy to get the ritual wrong. While there are other translations done earlier, more reliable manuscripts, the fact remains the ritual is incredibly easy to mess up, and not all the translations agree on how it should go in the first place. Well, that's troubling.
Yeah.
Given that a misstep during the demon phase can lead to eternal doom and torment, the whole operation is very risky.
It's risky.
I would go along with that. Yeah, it's not.
It's just risky though.
What is wrong with that cloud?
Huh?
That picture of that cloud. What the hell is that?
Here? I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe angels and these are demons. I don't know.
Okay.
The Dukes of Hell can do some pretty amazing things for you as long as your intentions are pure. Wow, there you go. While your guardian angel can absolutely be a comfort and help to you, it seems that the most of the power of this ritual actually comes from the demons you bind to your will. In serving you, they will stay near you and always abide to your will, and they will do whatever is asked of them, including acts of magic. Once they serve you, they can be set to various tasks, such as helping you fly or making you invisible. They can also go find treasure for you, although you must always give this wealth to charity in order to serve God better. Perhaps strangest of all, they can also perform love spells, making people fall in love with you or others.
That's a curse in and of itself.
Yeah, no kidding. You talk about karma. Oh my God.
Yeah, no doubt.
This may sound very open to abuse, and it definitely is. The catch is that anyone who achieves this has to be pure, and the nature of magic isn't good or evil. It depends on the motivation of the magician. If you feel no evil intent, your magic will not be evil. So this wealth of power will always supposedly be in good hands.
This is actually kind of counterintuitive if you think about it, though, because you're summoning demons, which is not pure.
That's already...
And you're trying to do something that's not... that God says don't do.
Right, yeah.
So how can you be pure in doing this?
Maybe that's the catch right there, Don.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
It's
right there.
always the machinations of the darkness.
Yeah.
Aleister Crowley felt the ritual was very important. Throughout history, this spell has fascinated fans and practitioners of the occult. Aleister Crowley, in particular, was very interested in the ritual. Crowley was widely published and was an integral part of the esoteric Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which closely followed Abramellin's teachings. During his time there, he studied under Samuel Liddell MacGregor Mathers, and the two were reportedly close friends. The subject of the ritual, however, has a lot to do with their eventual falling out. Crowley studied the summoning ritual and decided to attempt it. He wrote the demons did not wait to be evoked, but simply showed up. Beings materialized in the room, terrifying and foreboding. Crowley said it was obvious he was working with very strong magic. He might have continued on in search of his angel, but he was interrupted in 1907 when Mathers asked for help in organizing organizational matters in the Golden Dawn organization. After that, Mathers and Crowley began to fight over authority and practices within the organization, and the two soon became bitter enemies. Even then, however, Crowley held the Abramellin ritual in very high regard. The Book of Abramellin contains myriad of other unusual rituals. Besides the Abramellin operation, the arcane book contains many other interesting rituals and practices. It teaches you how to make magical items, such as special anointing oils that were still known as Abramellin oil. It teaches you about holy lamps and how to make magic wands from tree branches. It even tells you how to make some magical clothing, including special robes better suited for conducting occult forces. You can learn magical symbols and language and learn rituals that heal people who have serious wounds or illnesses. One particular interesting topic is word squares. These magical word squares are actually similar to magic word squares in other practices, such as Thelema, Goetia, and chaos magic. In these squares, you put the word for a spell you want to do, and in writing it, you can help focus yourself and make it happen. Nobody's sure who wrote the original ritual. Wasn't it that guy that went to Abraham? Abraham the worm, didn't they say?
Yeah.
There's one major question everyone is left with. Is this all for real? Where did this all originally come from, and who first performed the ritual? Unfortunately, we're left with nothing but more questions. The copy manuscripts we have date back to the early 1600s, but internally the manuscripts say it is written back in the 1400s. Further, it's based on rituals Abraham says are much older, but we do not have a reliable record to support his assertion. In the end, we don't really know how old this set of practices are or who started it. On top of that, we don't know much about Abraham of Worms or even if he existed. Some say it was written by a known Jewish rabbi who assumed the name Abraham for this purpose. Others say it was written by an unknown author. The truth is, we may never know. But the temptation of meeting a guardian angel and binding 12 demons to your will still fascinates and beckons occultists even today. Yeah, I'm thinking that's it's not like you're just making cookies, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, I forgot the sugar. Yeah, okay. You can deal with that. But if you get this wrong, I don't think...
Can you deal with that?
Yeah, no.
You know, it's just a very bad idea because first of all, your intent is not pure. Period.
Right.
Everything
if you're looking for
starts with
power,
intent.
right?
Everything starts with intent.
Sure.
I like how Deb just put it, though. Our friend Deb Varner. She says, I think I'll just skip all that and I'll talk to my guardian angels the way I always do. So there you go.
Ron the Sage said a good point. He says, as someone who has faced demons and rebuked them in the name of God, this is very dangerous.
Yeah.
I just scrolled here. It says, you do not have to contact the devil to contact God. Exactly.
No, but that's not what you're trying to do here. You're trying to bind your guardian angel. You're not trying to talk to God. You're trying to do something unpure.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah,
Period.
it sounds absolutely conflicting in terms of piousness and trying to be holy.
Yeah, there's no way you can do that.
And yet you want to bind something to give you more power
Right.
so that you can be more pious? Does that make sense?
Yes.
No.
More of a pious
I think
ass.
it's I don't know if there's a proper word for it, but it's like it's a trap either way.
Yeah.
You know, it really is, because
Yeah.
if you just in any time you summon dark things like that,
They don't let you go.
no, they got nothing but time too. They'll just sit
That's
for ages and watch.
Thanks,
and wait.
Wes.
What did he say?
Wes says Don's talking some sense tonight.
It happens, Wes.
How
You just
freaking weird.
stick around long enough, and even a stop clock is right twice a day. No, I'm just kidding. No, Don's always got some good input.
It just doesn't make sense.
That's it's an interesting article though, because I think a lot of times people dismiss
Yeah.
this stuff as hooey, folklore, whatever, but it was the machinations of many cultures for eons of time, and people definitely believe in it. And I'm here to tell you, if we can experience the paranormal, and we do all the time, we obviously know there's forces at work in this world that we're just not familiar with. And what I think magic basically is it's the aiming of intention. And its most root form,
Yes.
you're aiming your intention at
Yes.
something and manifesting.
Yes.
And so, whether you need, sticks or whatever to do that, it's up to you. But
Right.
ultimately, it all breaks down to
Right.
you are manifesting something.
Yes.
You can do that through prayer. You can do that through meditation. You can do that through any number of means.
Yeah.
Just focus. You can do it. So,
Focus.
and I think it's this kind of stuff gets a little scary
You think?
when it's talking about messing with directly negative forces.
Right. Right.
I just don't see any good coming from that in any way.
Rachel says it's as unpure as Jello with hot dog bits in it.
Oh God.
Which reminds me of what it kind of when hot dogs come up, let's say that.
Oh,
Wes says I'm lazy and lack ambition. I doubt that. To contact demons. Plus, I don't find them very interesting. What would we talk about? Oh, I don't know. Just about anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're very good conversationalists,
Right.
especially if they're trying to convince you of something.
yeah.
Which, by something's in them, they've already won, dummy.
Yeah, it's scary stuff for sure. I mean, I think it's interesting to cover on the show because we don't touch on subjects like this very often, but this is definitely a part of the weirdness and the bizarreness, and I think there's plenty of evidence to show that people are willing to practice pretty dark things.
Right.
If you get into true crime, you're going to ultimately end up in ritualistic things going on, people doing things that are absolutely horrifying, and so. There are people that are willing to do horrible things in order to...
Like make you eat Taco Bell every Friday night.
Boy, that's a punishment.
Oh, gosh. Some people deserve that punishment. How you feeling on Saturday?
It's swimming in the ocean of Gehenna. Yeah.
Or the Mississippi.
Yeah. I grew up in that one. I am the product of a full lifetime of swimming in the Mississippi, folks. So if you wonder what's wrong with me, You might want to start there. Back in the 70s, too, when there was things floating by you wouldn't believe.
That's a fish sack. I'll never forget that.
That was
No, we would not do a Ouija board live on air, Wes. What are you, insane?
No.
You must be.
No, I mean, I think here's the thing. I think that can be done responsibly, but
Not by me.
Well, no, that's certainly makes sense. But the problem I have with Ouija boards is you're making yourself a blind channel.
Yes.
You're saying, is there anything out there? And even if you're calling grandpa,
Yeah, exactly.
you don't know if it's grandpa. So it's a dangerous thing in a lot of ways. But all right, folks, we'll be right back. Going to the hour break. Don't go away. Lots more coming up.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, ripping scars across my heart. Raging anger boils inside me as their lies keep falling apart. But I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken I am finished with my silence. I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness, just you dance upon my joy. Me with empty promise, you're just another fucking mess. Taking off the slice of my sanity, just make sure that you're well fed.
Carol Ann is not like those she's with. They're attracted to the one thing about her that's different from themselves. Her life force. It is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeists are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are of fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back and back at it here on the Paranormal Portal. Hope you guys are doing good. I have an angel story. Well, you should call in, Ruger, and share your angel story.
Well, duh.
Because the number is right below mine, right next to my name.
I can actually read it now.
It's big.
It's big.
It's big and legible. So if you want to call in and be a part of the discussion, you certainly can. The number is 720-923-0500. You can certainly join the discussion right here on the portal. But yeah, we love angel stories. Angel stories are great. I got an angel story too. I've shared it on the show before though, but it was very interesting. I didn't know I was dealing with an angel, but then I believe I was. In the after the fact, did you guys see the Sandra Hughes story? Lady with blue hair and went missing, but bikers kept seeing her. Hikers kept seeing her. Wow. No, I never heard about that. Did you, Don?
Nope, never heard of it.
I never did hear about that. That sounds absolutely fascinating and disturbing because, of course, she was deceased. She had passed. So, wow, that's sad. That's very, very sad.
I think it'd be the bikers that passed. She'd be standing still.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got a call from our good friend, Mr. Ruger Ridge. So let's put him on the horn. Are you there, Ruger?
Yeah. How y'all doing?
We're doing great, brother. How you doing tonight?
All right. I have an angel story.
I'd love to hear
Lay it
that.
on.
One
brother.
of all the weird stuff that has happened to me, this rates right up there in like the top 5.
Oh, please, share. We'd love to hear it.
This was back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working, I don't know where it'd be, second shift or third shift. I went in at 4 and I got off at 3 in the morning. So I would sleep biggest part of the day,
Sure.
at the house by myself, kids in school, wife's gone. So one day I come in and I'd had a really rough night at work. Come in and I crashed. And sometime up in the morning, I got this feeling. I kind of halfway woke up and I got this feeling that I was being stared at, that there was somebody in the house when there shouldn't be. And then it was like somebody turned on the light. So I opened my eyes, how you go from a dark room to light, and I'm trying to focus. And here, standing right next to my bed, broad open daylight, mind you, is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my whole life.
Wow.
She was in a white gown and tall, 6 foot minimum.
Wow.
Tall, long blonde hair, if not to the floor, almost to the floor.
Oh, man.
And she was glowing. I mean, shimmering light all the way around her. And she was glowing.
Wow.
And I'm just getting a focus, and just about the time I realized what I'm looking at, she didn't give me a full nod, but she kind of just tilted her head kind of like, yep, to kind of to affirm that I was seeing what I was seeing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever reason, I just closed my eyes, went back to sleep.
Wow. That's
So
powerful.
So I go back to sleep and everything's fine, and my alarm goes off, like 2:00 in the afternoon. my alarm goes off, and I sat on the side of the bed trying to get my stuff together, and I thought, man, what a dream that was. And I look over on my nightstand, and here is a blonde hair,
Oh, wow.
like 3 feet long.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm just like in disbelief and shocked, and I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
You know, so I rolled this blonde hair up, and it took 2 fingers. I remember distinctly. It took 2 fingers to wind it up. That's how much hair we're talking here. Mm-hmm. And I put it in a nice little ring, and I set it right on the nightstand.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife comes home from work just as I'm going out the door, and I tell her, I said, I thought it was a dream, told her the whole deal. You are not going to believe this. Come here and look at this hair. And it was gone.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It was gone.
Oh.
And I was mad.
Yeah.
I mean, I was mad. And I'm like, seriously, that really happened, you know? And, of course, everybody's like, okay, sure it did.
Oh,
And I said, no, it really did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this hair was like unbelievably blonde and long.
Wow.
And I just was like, you know, wow, what a blessing. Wonder what this is about, you know?
Right.
You know, this was brought on by a bad night at work. You know, I mean, I was just full of questions.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just wound that hair up in the perfect little old circle and laid it on the nightstand. And when I went to show it to my wife, it was gone.
Huh.
But yeah, I had an angel visit.
That's incredible.
You
And
know?
the fact that you actually had tangible evidence of that.
Right, the manifestation of it.
That's so.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was. Yeah, the seeing her was probably not as shocking as finding the hair.
Yeah.
It was the confirmation of, no, I was here. You weren't dreaming. We made eye contact, and you know, I did nod to you. I mean, it was just like I could see it all again, just as vivid. You know. Yeah, it was weird.
Huh.
Now,
it was weird.
Do you think that
and to say the least, I was not very pure at heart in the 80s either. You know, so
Sure. Well, that's cool.
You know, why I got a visit, I don't know, but I sure did.
Do you think?
I sure did.
Do you think that it's perhaps the aura of the angel was so comforting, and that's why you fell back to sleep?
Yeah, I wasn't threatened at all.
Right.
I was just like, cool. Wow. You know, I mean, I was just in awe of the whole moment. You know, and of course, when I woke up, that was the first thing I thought of, and I was like, well, that was a weird dream, you know, and sat on the side of the bed, and here is this hair.
Oh.
You know, just one.
Yeah.
Super long, super blonde. And I rolled it up around my 2 fingers the whole time thinking, this is so awesome.
Yeah.
And then it disappeared.
Oh, my gosh.
Then it disappeared.
That's too bad that it disappeared, because that's...
Yeah,
it's
been, too bad. I would still have that hair.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
Would have been one more cherished hair.
Well, I mean, you know, if you're holding a piece of something divine like that, it's got to be a good blessing to have, you know.
Well, yeah, and just so spur of the moment, you know. I mean, I wasn't going through no hard times or anything. Actually, it was a pretty good time in my life during that time.
Wow.
You know, good job, money going well, everything was fine. Had a rough night at work, and then have this angel appear. You know,
that's so powerful.
Just
wow.
And the nod, and she never said anything, never changed her expression. She just had a nice little smile on her face, you know, and she just tilted her head just, you know, ever so slightly. And I just rolled her and went to sleep.
So she was manifest just as if any of us were standing in the room with
just
you.
As absolutely. There was she was a full person standing by my bed. Yeah.
Wow. That is amazing.
And glowing.
Yeah.
It was like she was backlit, but the light was actually shimmering or had sparkles in it or silver streaks or something. I mean, it was just unreal.
That's really cool.
She was as clear as can be. It was the light that behind her that was, you know, had the movement effect. Right. You know.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's got to feel like a blessing, right?
It was awesome.
Yeah, it is. That's an incredible story. I think that's absolutely fascinating. It's just so sad that hair disappeared. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Oh, man.
Absolutely it is. I told everybody I could think of. I told the guys at work. I told everybody. You know.
Did they have
and that hair disappeared?
They give you a urine test after that?
No. It's a wonder they didn't. But no, they didn't.
Oh, awesome.
Not that day they didn't. Yeah, it was.
That's brilliant.
It was something else.
Well, thanks a lot for
calling. All right, man.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah, I'll let you all get back to the show. Huh?
Rube, one thing, real quick. We got Wes in the chat room, right? Wes from Sasquatch Chronicles. He says that you sound like an old West lawman. Can you do me a favor? Can you say these words?
An old West lawman.
Yeah, an old West lawman. So can you say these words? I'll be your huckleberry.
What about get out of the car, long hair?
That works too. All right, Rude. Hey, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it.
All right, take care, man. That's awesome.
Get out of the car, long hair.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome. But how did he get away with explaining that to his wife or his girl?
She wasn't naked, dude.
Well, no, but I mean, some rando, long blonde hair in the bed. Yeah, and you weren't here, honey. So, that'd be the...
He was an angel.
I just scored a whole lot of points with Wes. So awesome. That's awesome. So, but yeah, I mean, that's crazy. You just kind of, you feel something, you open your eyes and There
it is.
That's
There it is, folks. I tell you what, I believe people do have encounters with divine beings.
Sure.
Maybe even more regularly than we know. It's just, maybe it's the person that shows up at the right time.
Right.
When you're going through something, and just a stranger that gives you a level of kindness. Is that a divine visit of sorts?
Right.
And I think angels can be... I think they can be manifest beings of their own accord,
right?
But they can also inspire and cause people to do angelic things. Right. I mean, sure. I've heard of animals acting angelically and appearing and then doing something amazing for people and then disappearing just kind of after they were done. Boom, they're gone. So
there's another phone call.
There is another phone call. Let's get to this. This is from Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know who it is then.
You do. All right, this is Oz on the phone. Are you there, Maggie?
I am here. Hello.
Hi, Maggie.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
I'm not sure how I can follow Ruger, but I have a story too.
Oh, fantastic. Let us know. I'd love to hear it.
Well, I don't know that it was an angel for sure, but what happened, it was something saving my life.
Oh.
So anyway, I was about 5 or 6, and we were in Sudbury in England. And we were walking, it was really rural at the time, because it was quite a long time ago now.
Sure.
And I was walking with my dad and my brothers and the dogs. And you go along past a big river with a weir, a big weir. And I'm always away with the fairies, and it was no different when I was little.
Sure.
So I was just like dawdling, picking grass. And the path was quite narrow.
Okay.
So I was walking along, and they'd all gone and left me. And I lost my balance. And I started to fall towards the water.
Oh, wow.
And still to this day, I've thought about it a lot over the years, and I still don't know exactly what happened, but something broke my fall and pushed me back onto onto the path.
Wow.
And I fell down, and I cried because I knew that I nearly died because of the weir. And my dad was a fireman, so he was all really safety conscious and it was crazy, so I always knew the bad things and stuff. And I knew that, and if I'd have fallen in, they wouldn't have heard the splash they wouldn't have heard
Oh man.
anything
Right. You would have
because they were
been
so
gone.
far away. And
Oh,
Wow.
yeah,
I believe that's angelic for
so-
sure.
pardon?
I said I believe that's angelic. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I was so scared that I'd get in trouble that I didn't tell them what had happened.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
Ah, crazy.
that's incredible.
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
Right. Well, sometimes it seems like when we're not paying attention is when these things really happen, obviously, because, they say, well, if you go looking for something, you'll eventually find it. But you know what? Sometimes it's when you're not expecting anything that the most inspirational, spiritual something happens, and you just have to pay attention to it.
Yeah. But the weird was it's like a huge waterfall, and I would have got sucked over it. I was so close to it. There was no way that I could have saved myself at that age at all.
Man.
And it was like a hand, I don't know, I didn't see anything, but it was like a hand came out of the reeds and just propped me back the right way because I was falling.
There you
I
go.
can still see myself falling into the water,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
it was that.
That's
Going to
powerful.
happen, you know.
Yeah, but it didn't, and you were
So,
thrown,
yeah.
you were thrown back again onto the shore, right? So like you were off balance
Yeah.
in process of falling into the body of water, and it was like you were grabbed and thrust back up onto the land.
Yeah, or like a palm pushed,
Yeah.
a palm had pushed me up
Wow.
backwards because I fell backwards and fell on my hands and knees and just started shaking because I felt like I'd come face to face with the water.
Oh,
Right.
I can still see it in my mind. I've got a ridiculous memory anyway, but I can still see, sort of hitting the water. I don't know how I didn't. It was just one of those things,
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And
and I'm very grateful.
yeah, absolutely. And we're grateful too, because otherwise you wouldn't be here with us now.
right.
But I think that's a beautiful story. And I think, a lot of people may attribute that to any number of things, but I don't know. I don't know that it's not angelic. I don't know that it is, but something acted in a benevolent way for your well-being, and that is angelic in and of itself, So, but it could very well have been an actual angel. It could have just, been a guardian spirit, or it could be, an ancestor. Any number of ideas come to mind, but it doesn't make those things any less miraculous.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. That's how that's how I think of it. Yeah, exactly like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is
But,
really
it's cool.
powerful.
Thank you very much for letting me share.
Oh, you're
Thank
And hi
you.
to
Thank
chat
you.
because I always forget to say that.
Ah, there you go. Excellent.
All right, Maggie, take care. Thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right then. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's awesome.
That really is. I mean, those kind of experiences, I think, are absolutely awesome. And to be honest, those are actually among my favorite kind of experiences in all of the paranormal, because oftentimes we focus on the dark, spooky, scary stuff. But, encounters like this they reaffirm so much.
Right.
They reaffirm faith. They reaffirm the idea that there's good and there's benevolent things out there as well. We're kind of force-fed this diet of spooky, horrible, scary, spooky, horrible, scary. And when these kind of stories come through, it's like, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's really powerful. I think this stuff is just incredible. But yeah, that's the last for the phone calls. But the lines are open if any of you all want to call in. Where the hell did your lower third go?
I don't know. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
That's weird. I'm going to restart it.
Okay.
There you go. Got to get that Jolly Roger a flying. Okay. So we don't really have enough time to get into an article before the break, although I can read a ghost story.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to read a ghost story to y'all because
Sweetly.
I got, maybe I can do this one. Yeah, I'll try this. This is coming from yourghoststories.com.
I haven't seen that site in a while.
I know, right? This is by from 2009, July 6th, and it's a story from North Dakota, actually. So, and this is, I have two stories to share, so I might as well lump them together. The first one's been in my family for several generations now, and it's probably been embellished quite a bit over the years, but I'll put it in anyway. My mother's father's father, my great-grandfather, was walking home from school, and it was one of those one-room schoolhouses out on the prairie, and he walked home, and it was always after dark. So anyway, this one particular day, he was walking home like always when he heard something walking behind him. It was in the prairie grass behind him and off to the right, and he thought, okay, there's some kind of animal going the same way as I am, so it will probably go away soon. So he walked for a few more minutes but he could still hear it behind him. He decided that it was just one of his friends playing a joke on him, so he would suddenly turn around and stand still, and he would catch them. So he did, and the noise stopped, and there was no one there. He stood like that for a while, and then he decided that this was silly, and he needed to get home. As soon as he started walking again, though, he could hear it again. He could hear the swish of the grass being pushed aside, and he imagined he could hear faint breathing. I don't know whether he could really hear the breathing or if that was added to make the story more interesting. Anyway, it was really dark by now, and the stars were starting to come out, and so he finally decided enough was enough, and he ran into the grass shouting, waving his arms, and beating randomly at the grass. And as he stood there waiting for something to happen, a clump of grass right in front of him rustled. And then he heard a low, angry hiss. Oh, that's terrible. Then the grass rustled again, and he could see the grass shifting as the thing moved away from him. He stood there for a few minutes, and then he suddenly felt really panicked, and he ran all the rest of the way home, and he never found out what had been following him. And it sounds like just kind of a one-off thing. Personally, I don't know what to believe. It might have been a stray cat, but a cat would have shown itself. So I figured I would ask what you all thought. I don't know, personally. The other story is about some things that happened in my house. My family still lives there. But since I became a teenager, I haven't experienced anything else, maybe because I'm not naturally sensitive. It's just that everyone can see when they're young. The first thing that happened to me was when I was 6. I didn't want to go to bed, so even though my parents told me to stay in my room, I went down to the kitchen for a glass of water. As I walked past the hallway, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a black, hooded figure walking into one of the rooms along the hall.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's not. I walked right by and then did a double take and ran to look into the room it had gone into. I didn't see it. So I ran upstairs and hid under the covers. The next thing was maybe a year later, my parents and I were staying at a hotel over Christmas, and a bunch of relatives were also staying there. I really liked my cousin's hotel room, but ours creeped me out. It was cold, and no matter how high we turned the thermostat, it was filled with that eerie, heavy kind of feeling that makes you think there's something behind you. I had nightmares every night we were there, and then on the last night, the thing showed itself. I woke up suddenly as though someone had been touching me, and floating above me was a thing. I can't describe it as anything but a thing, something. Sometimes when I have bad dreams, I'll pinch myself awake. As soon as I saw this thing, I curled my hand into a fist and dug my fingernails into my palm. It hurt, and I didn't wake up. The thing above me was red, yellow, and green, and I could see the colors very clearly, even in the dark room. It looked a little like a bird, and the funny thing on its head, and it had a really, really claw-like hands and pimply skin. Around the edges, it looked like smoke. It hovered over me for about 10 seconds, and then the smoke looked spread all across, and it dissolved. I didn't know what to do then, so I just crawled out under the covers and rolled into a ball. The next morning, I asked my parents if they had seen anything, and they had not. The freaky part was that the bird thing may have followed me home. About a month later, I couldn't sleep, and I was laying on my side staring at the wall, and I was thinking about my Connect the Dots book and wondering what I would get if I connected the little bumps on the plaster. So as I stared at them, they started to move, and at first they all moved in one direction, like they were marching, and I think I made them do that by making my eyes go out of focus, and suddenly they stopped marching and started forming shapes, mainly circles and stars. But there were other shapes too, and they all moved in the spiral pattern. By this time, I was enjoying the show and looking forward to seeing what they would do next, and all of a sudden they started going to one spot in the middle. I wasn't scared, but when I saw the shape they were making, I freaked out. It was the vulture-type bird with claw-like hands that was wearing one of those floppy hats like the old ladies in cartoons always wear. It looked wizened like an old lady, and I was seeing a profile of it, and then in one eye I could see had a clever, nasty look to it, and I was looking right at me. Then it started to move, and I thought, no, stop it. I don't want this anymore. The plaster stopped moving. The next day I had a friend over for a play date, and I showed her the spot on the wall and asked if the plaster reminded her of anything, and she said that it looked like a bird with a hat, which really freaked me out. The bird stayed frozen into the plaster until about 5 years ago when it started fading. Now you can only see it if you know where to look, but it's still there. What do you think it was? And why didn't it pick me to follow?
I think it's break time.
It is break time, folks. We're going to go to the break, so don't go away. We'll be right back with the last half hour of the show. It's cruising by, but it always goes fast when you're having a good time. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Paranormal Portal in our last half hour of the show. And thank you so much for all of you joining us. As always, it's our sincere pleasure to do these shows. We have another call, Don.
We do.
Let's get to this
Let's
call and
get
find
on,
out
see
what's
what's
going
going
on. All right, so this is caller from 716 area code. Are you there?
716.
That's it. This is you. Who are we talking to?
Yep. I'm Ron the Sage.
Oh,
Ron
hey,
the Sage.
how
How you doing?
Give you guys a call.
Well,
Absolutely.
welcome to the show. Good to meet you finally. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Well, I figured you guys are all talking about angel stories. I would tell you mine.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
When I was a junior in high school, I was walking home, and I got to set the scene because this high school was at the top of a 1 mile hill
Oh.
that had a 30-degree grade.
Oh, wow.
Oof.
So I lived exactly the point where I couldn't get bused. I had to walk.
Okay.
So I'm walking home, and as I'm coming down the hill, there's a side street. The only thing I heard before the loud noise were the words duck, now. And so I did. There were 2 cars full of kids, one coming off the side street, one coming down the hill, and they impacted, according to the police, at about 90 miles an hour.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Wow.
The one car literally split in half.
Oh, no.
The front went behind me, and the back went in front of me.
Oh, wow.
And both pieces were spiraling as they went around me.
Oh, no. Wow.
It gets better.
Okay.
The other car vaulted over the top of me and rolled 1.5 miles to the bottom of the hill
Oh, my God.
before it stopped against the bridge embankment. There were 7 boys in the car that landed against the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
There were 6 girls who ended up in the ditch next to me that were in the other car. There were only 2 injuries.
Oh, my God.
The driver of the car that hit the bridge embankment had a broken nose, and the driver of the car that split in half had a broken nose. That's it.
Oh, my
Where
God.
their faces hit the steering wheel.
That's incredible.
No one should have survived that, including me.
Right. Yeah, what are the
It's just
odds?
insane. I mean, I
That
don't know
is-
how to explain it.
That is amazing. Yeah. So did you hear it like an audible voice, or was it in your head, or do you know?
It sounded like someone standing directly behind me that yelled, "Duck now!"
Huh.
Wow. Oh.
And I wasn't the only witness to the accident. There was a woman on the side of the road who asked me which car was I in the accident and where is the body, because she thought I got run over by the car.
Wow.
Oh my God. Wow.
And I was standing there yelling for her to run in the house and call because, well, you know, in 1984, we didn't have
Right.
cell phones.
Right.
Sure.
She had to run into the house to call the police.
Oh my God. Just that
And,
intervention alone is many layers, because not only was an intervention on your behalf, but apparently everybody in those cars.
Right.
Oh, most definitely.
Whoa. That's intense.
And it's, I have to admit that, you know, at first I'd have thought maybe it was just, you know, an ancestor, somebody, but no, it had to be a guardian angel because, I mean, there were 14 of us involved in that accident and minor injuries, nothing serious.
Yeah, that's nothing short of miraculous, and on so many levels, that's miraculous. I mean, the girls that were ejected and landed next to you, you wouldn't think they would just be like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?"
They weren't ejected though.
They weren't.
They were still strapped into their seat belts.
But the
car was broken in half, sitting in such a way that the seats were pointed out of the ditch.
Oh, wow.
Back of the car was in the ditch backwards, and the front of the car was in the ditch forward, so that nobody was thrown from the car or anything.
Wow.
It is just, I hesitate to tell the story to people because it's so difficult to accept what happened.
Sure, but I mean, these things do happen, and that's the beautiful part. But I mean, if you're thinking of the mathematical odds of that happening, it's got to be astronomically huge numbers against, everything working in such perfect unison to make sure that everybody was okay. I mean, my God, that's amazing.
It is. It's just, it's. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it except a miracle, and it's not the only time I've had experiences that are crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
But I figured this is the one that's appropriate to what we're talking about this evening.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing, brother. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing that. And I'd love to hear your other experiences as well.
Yep. I also mentioned one earlier where I actually witnessed a demon firsthand possession.
Oh yeah, that's right. Usually.
And if you'd like, I could tell you about it if you'd like.
Yeah, please go ahead. I mean, we got all the time you need.
I used to work with youth ministries with the Lutheran Church here in New York, and I was at a Lutheran summer camp.
Okay.
And one of the youth advisors, and I was also a youth advisor, he was, unbeknownst to his father, a devil worshiper.
Oh,
and his
no.
father was a preacher.
Oh, good grief. Okay.
Yeah. It just, it was one night when we had time off, and he's like, I can summon ghosts and spirits. And I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, way, seriously. And I'm like, I don't believe you. So he begins to mutter, and I don't understand what he's saying. He's just talking in tongues, is I guess what they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, this figure appears just out of nowhere in the middle of the amphitheater where we were sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was stressful to me because now I'm like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. This isn't right. This shouldn't be happening.
Right.
And I said, stop what you're doing. And, I don't know. I don't know what came over me. I just started to yell at him in God's name, stop what you're doing.
Good for you.
And he took off running towards the beach.
Wow.
We had that evening an event where there was a huge bonfire where we literally put almost a whole tree into a bonfire on the beach. And it was still burning. Don't ask me why they did it. It's just what they did.
Sure.
And so he goes running down onto the beach, and he says, well, you can't tell me what to do, and jumps into the fire.
Oh.
And is standing on the top log of the fire, balancing on one foot, untouched by the fire.
Oh, dear. Oh. Wow.
And he starts talking to me, but his mouth isn't moving.
Oh, no. Yeah,
And he's challenging me and challenging God, and I just, you can't tempt me. Be gone. And I kept telling him over and over again.
Yeah.
Now, several of the other counselors are there, and they see what's going on. And if I and I don't even have to say anything. The head counselor runs to go get the pastor immediately, knowing there's something definitely wrong.
Right.
And in the meantime, we're trying to convince him to rebuke this, whatever it is, demon inside him.
Right.
And he just keeps growling at us, threatening us. And then suddenly he jumps down, pulls out a pistol, and shoots me.
Oh, what? Oh, no.
Now, I have absolutely no idea how he missed my body, but the bullet went in one side and out the other of my jacket.
Oh, thank God. Wow.
Oh, yes. I don't know how he missed. We're literally 3 feet apart when he did it.
No, that's
And
incredible.
I told him that in the name of God, be gone. And I grabbed him by the shirt collar. And as I did it, the other counselors were able to grab his arms and throw the pistol away.
Oh.
He breaks down into total gibberish, absolutely rolls up in a ball, and continues to go on and on in gibberish. All 4 of the pastors who were there came, and we carried him to the church and placed him on the altar where the priests performed an exorcism.
Wow.
And we were not allowed to remain in the church while it happened.
Right.
But the sounds, the noises, the flashing lights that came from inside, I regret not going back in.
Really? Okay.
All I do know is that it was, because I didn't see any, all I could hear, it was screaming and them praying and rebuking the devil over and over again until finally everything went silent.
Wow.
And seeing it from the outside, seeing the flashing lights, hearing the noises that just don't sound human, it left me shook.
Yeah. Yeah. But those are very dangerous events. You know, I mean, exorcisms are.
Oh yes.
They're definitely not a spectator
I
sport.
understand that.
But, yeah. But I understand your curiosity too, because you're seeing evidence of something going on that you can't quite understand, and you know, our nature, I think, is to observe, like, what's going on. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That is really intense.
Yeah. That happened when I was 17.
Oof.
From the time I was 16 till the time I was 20, I saw more unexplainable events than I think anyone should have to see, because I was a ghost hunter.
Oh.
After that, I wanted to see more. I wanted to know more about these demons and ghosts and what were they, and so I went after it.
Okay.
And that's something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You really don't, because you're inviting evil into your presence, and it's not worth it.
Yeah, that can get really scary, and it can get, you know, I think you're absolutely right. I think that, you know, paranormal investigating is kind of being peddled like it's the latest reality trend or something, you know, like the reality craze or whatever. And it really can be dangerous. It really can cause people lifetimes of trouble and problems. So you're absolutely right. And I think that that's a great takeaway from that, is just, you know, anybody out there that's going to start looking into the paranormal, you've got to be able to protect yourself, because you're not just, it's not like going to the movies. You're dealing with energies that we don't understand. Yeah.
Our world is made of energy, to be honest, if you believe the current physicists, that's what they're saying.
Sure.
And it's kind of why I believe that, you know, our spirit persists afterwards, because it's a pattern of energy, and energy is destroyed. So
right.
To believe that, you know, you have to believe that when you see things. Even if you'd have seen one of the events I've seen in your life, you'd understand what I mean by that. It's just there's so much more to what's going on around us that we don't always see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the show's built on that. You know, the whole idea that
exactly,
you know, there's things going on we just can't even begin to comprehend. So, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Wow. Very powerful stuff, brother.
Anyway, I think I've talked long enough. We'll let anybody else who wants to call in.
Would you mind emailing me, Ron, and at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com? I got a couple other.
Sure, let me write that down.
Yep, just paranormalportalradio, all one word, @gmail.com, please.
Yes.
Okay.
I will contact you.
All right. Thank you, brother. And thank you so much for calling in and being a part of the show.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah, it's been great.
All right. Thanks.
And everybody have a great night.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, let's get to the next one. And this is from area code 417. You're on the air. Are you there?
Hello?
Area code 417. Are you there? Did I unmute it? Yeah. No, no, I guess I didn't. Hold on.
Oh.
I did, but it's
what are you doing,
remuted.
rookie?
Area code 417. Are you there? Sorry. Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, now it's working.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. My name in the chat is Jolie Bean. I've been watching the show for a while, and like the last caller, I have a lot of crazy stories too. But I do have one about a car accident, and I thought I'd share since it seems to be the theme of the night.
Sure, by all means.
And
please do.
This particular incident, I fully believe, saved my life. I was fresh out of high school, and I moved in with a boyfriend in another state and left my parents. And I was working in a nursing home, and I was going to school. And the evenings,
to become a CNA.
Okay.
And I was having to drive from the tiny little rural town that I lived in to the next town over, which wasn't much bigger. And I took these back roads, and I drove 90 miles an hour everywhere I went because my boyfriend picked on me for driving like a grandma. And I never, ever wore my seatbelt.
Oh, no.
And I came home from work one day, and I laid down to take a nap. And while I was asleep, I dreamed that I had a car accident.
Oh.
And in the dream, I was trapped in my car. And this man came and opened a car door up and freed me from my car.
Oh, wow.
And I was shook by this dream. I had had some other prophetic things happen to me in the past.
Okay.
And I knew what they felt like. And I knew that this was prophetic. And I knew that it was actually going to happen. I just knew in my bones.
Mm-hmm.
And so my boyfriend was next door at the neighbor's house. And I went over there and I told him, I'm like, I know I'm going to have a car accident. I just know, but will you please drive me to school? And he just blew it off. And he's like, oh, you'll be fine, whatever. So I was like, okay, fine. So I drove myself to school and I put my seatbelt on. And everything went fine on the way there. And I went through my class just like normal. And when I came out, you know, I had parked under this awning. And that's important for later.
Okay.
And I remembered the dream, and put my seatbelt on, thank God. But I had sort of laughed it off by that point and thought, well, I'm just crazy, you know. And still was driving 90 miles an hour. Well, what I didn't realize is that the road that I had been driving on had been freshly repaved, and it had been raining, but I didn't know that because I was parked under an awning. And because I was going too fast, my tires got off in the gravel, and I overcorrected, and it shot me across the road into a ravine, pointed the wrong direction, and my car wedged into it, and I rolled, and I mean, the car was trashed. There was basically nothing left of it except for the compartment containing the seats.
Oh, wow.
And I was trapped in my car.
Wow.
And I couldn't get out. And of course, everything was electric in my car. I had an electric moonroof, and I was trying my best to get out of the car, but I couldn't. And I tried turning it over, and there was a click and nothing. And I could not open any of the windows or anything. So I was trying to kick open the window, and suddenly this man appeared.
Wow.
And I recognized him from my dream.
Oh, cool.
And he yanks the car door open, and of course, I come out in hysterics, like jamming my finger into the middle of his chest, like, I know you, I dreamed this was going to happen, like freaking out. And he helps me up the side of this ravine and takes me to the nearest hospital. Meanwhile, again, I'm in hysterics the whole way because I couldn't believe that this is happening because I dreamed all of this.
Wow.
And I'm just blown away that it's actually occurring. And come to find out, the only way that he saw my car down there in the ravine was that he saw a light.
Oh.
Well, when the cops later took me back to the scene, we could barely find my car, and we knew where it was.
Oh, wow.
There's no way he could have seen a light. There was no light to be seen. My headlights were embedded in the side of the ravine. There was no light to be seen from anything.
Oh.
So where did this light come from?
Right. That's amazing.
How could he have seen me? I would have been trapped there for days.
Oh, man.
And it was insane. And the cop was like, oh, my God, I don't know how you survived this accident. Plus, I didn't have a scratch on me except for one on my back that I gave myself when I was trying to kick the window out. I got it from the center console when I was trying to leverage and kick the window out.
Right.
And still to this day, every time I think about it, I get goosebumps because I can hardly believe that it actually happened to me.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Well, thank God you're okay. I mean, that's amazing on a lot of different levels too. I mean, the light that guided it, the guy that showed up that you dreamt would be there. It's it's like so much happened in concert again
Right.
to make sure you're okay. And that you went through that and just had a scratch on your back, that's miraculous as well.
I know, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely, from that day forward, I believe I have a guardian angel. There's no other explanation for it, but that something saved my life that day and tried very hard to, because it did it 3 or 4 times over.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. Thank you so much for calling in and being a part of the show. And I'd love to hear your other stories too. So by all means, reach out and let us know. We'd love to hear more of it.
All right. Well, it's been great talking with you guys, and I'll definitely reach out in the future. You guys have a good night.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
Wow.
Bye.
Prophetic dreams. Now those are kind of interesting, you know, when you something reaches out and gives you this premonition.
Yeah.
And just kind of out of the blue about something that may or may not ever happen. And then, you know, within a day or two, it happens, you know. She was being safe and proper, you know, on the way to school because she couldn't get the ride. But then, you know, doubting herself and doubting her premonition, you know, paying the consequence of that. Luckily enough, it was the only thing that was ruined was the car.
Yeah.
But still, you know, yeah.
That's incredible. That's really, really powerful stuff. And this is what I love the most about the show, is exactly what happened here tonight.
Yeah.
We got one more call, and we got about 4 minutes left, so we'll try to get to this one. And this is from area code 206. You're on the air.
Hey, it's Trace. Can you hear me?
Hey, good to hear you. Yep, we can hear you good. Thank you.
Hey, Brett and Don. I met you in person about 1.5 years ago
I
at
remember.
Squatch Fest.
Yeah. How you been? Good?
I'm good. I'm going to tell my story really quick.
Sure.
Because it takes a lot for me to be brave. Okay. Similar to the other 2 callers, this is a car accident involved.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 19 years old. I was on my lunch break, and I was heading from Redmond, Washington, to Bellevue on 520. And I was following my friend. We were going to Bellevue Square. And I just kind of floated off, like I was just kind of in my own head thinking about my future. I was 19 years old.
Sure.
And I was thinking about a marriage proposal. I was too young. I was just like drifting off.
Mm-hmm.
And I just instinctively took the off-ramp off 520 onto 405, just like I was going home from work to Kirkland, not Bellevue, which is the next exit. So I was going the speed limit, doing my thing. I get off on the off-ramp. I get on the off-ramp, and it's August, and it was like the day after the first rain in August, so there was oil on the highway.
Oh, sure. Right. Yep.
I was going about 35, 40. I'm going around the curve to get on 405, and I realized, oh my God, I took the wrong exit. No big deal. But I hit an oil slick as I'm just perpendicular to 405, and all of a sudden my wheels hit this oil slick, and I lose total control of the car. It's just sliding, and then it hits the barrier, and it's airbound.
Oh, wow.
Airborne.
Yep.
Airborne.
Yep.
Going perpendicular to oncoming traffic of 405. I'm literally between the ditch. This is the old highway. It's been rebuilt since then, but I'm in the air heading towards oncoming traffic, coming, you know, to my left, toward, you know, all going 60 miles an hour. All of a sudden, everything slows down. My life passes before my eyes, like a film.
Yeah.
And then I'm in midair going, oh my God, I'm going to die. And all of a sudden, it's like my car hits a brick wall, and it stops midair, and it drops in the ditch between the 2 freeways, like, you know, where they join, that triangular style ditch, which is probably like 6 to 10 feet deep if you're actually going to have to walk in it. And so I'm on the air, so I'm sideways in the ditch.
Right.
I can't get out of my car. It hit something which we don't know what it was.
Got about 30
it hit
seconds.
air, and it stopped. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm there trying to figure out how I'm going to get out of the car. And the state trooper pulls up behind me And he comes to the car and he, shimmies his way up and gets my door open and pulls me out of the car, and he's white as a sheet. Huh. And he goes, I don't know why you're not dead.
Wow.
He had been watching traffic.
And he watched it.
And studying people, and he saw the whole thing happen. He goes, I don't know where you... He was just so shaken, and I was in shock.
Well, that's all.
And he just
that's amazing.
Called me.
Thank you so much for calling in and sharing the story.
Great.
But we ran out of time, Trace. I'm sorry about that, but thank you so much.
Oh yeah, no problem. All right.
All right. Have a good night. And good night. Good night, everybody. And we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. Thank you to all the callers tonight. It was amazing.
Have a great night.
This is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.